changed the day he died without fulfilling that dream, and he woke up in a new world, reborn as Lloyd, the seventh prince of the kingdom of Saloum. This was no ordinary prince. In his new body, Lloyd inherited a powerful magical lineage and a natural gift for spells. From an early age, he began exploring the secrets of magic with insatiable curiosity. One day, driven by his thirst for knowledge, he ventured into a forbidden wing of the castle, a sealed place full of warnings. There, he discovered an ancient archive filled with grimoires and forgotten texts. In the shadows, his curiosity led him to open a cursed book, and unknowingly, he awakened the demon of the forbidden grimoire, an entity sealed for centuries. But instead of fearing it, Lloyd was fascinated by its power. With overwhelming confidence and a command of magic few could imagine, he confronted the demon using spells far beyond what any child should be able to cast. In that moment, the demon realized this young man was not a mere prince. He was someone who had lived another life, a reborn mage determined to reach the pinnacle of magical knowledge. Thus begins the story of the seventh prince, a prodigy who will challenge the limits of magic in a world where only the strongest can bend fate to their will. After awakening the demon of the forbidden grimoire, the young Prince Lloyd did not destroy it. He dominated it. Awed by his immense power and wisdom, the demon swore eternal loyalty, becoming his familiar and companion on countless adventures. Driven by his hunger for knowledge, Lloyd set out to do what no noble child would dare: explore a real dungeon, a place full of traps, monsters, and arcane secrets. Along the way, he met Tao, a warrior who mastered a mysterious technique called Qi, a power unlike magic that springs from the body's inner energy. Intrigued by this entirely new ability, Lloyd decided to accompany her, eager to observe and learn every detail. Together, they descended into the dungeon's depths, facing savage creatures and challenges that would test even seasoned adventurers. For Lloyd, however, danger was opportunity. He treated battles like laboratory experiments, analyzing spells, measuring energy, and probing the limits of Tao's Qi. At last, they reached the dungeon's heart, a place even the bravest feared to enter. There, amid darkness and reverberating power, Lloyd began to understand that the path to absolute magic was not found only in books. It lay in experience, in combat, and in mastering every form of power the world could offer. In the deepest shadows of the dungeon, Lloyd and Tao finally confronted the true guardian of the place, an ancient lich, an undead being who had slain countless adventurers bold enough to challenge it. Its mere presence chilled the air, and the dense magical energy it radiated seemed to devour the surrounding light. Lloyd, impulsive and ever curious, tried to analyze its power up close, but the lich unleashed a devastating spell, hurling him violently back toward the labyrinth's entrance and leaving him unconscious for a moment. Alone before the creature, Tao fought desperately to buy time. With her mastery of Qi, she dodged attacks and countered with precision. Yet the lich's power surpassed anything she had ever faced. Each strike was useless, each defense another step toward defeat. When death seemed inevitable, a surge of magic lit up the darkness. Lloyd returned, enveloped in an aura of immeasurable power. His body radiated confidence, his eyes calm and unshaken, as if the danger were nothing more than another experiment. With a single gesture, he invoked a forbidden-level spell, dismantling the lich's defenses while dissecting its magical structure mid-battle. It was as though he were in a classroom, analyzing every particle of energy with scientific precision. In mere seconds, the lich was reduced to ashes, and silence reclaimed the dungeon. Tao, awestruck, realized this child was no ordinary mage. He was a prodigy destined to... Lloyd, the prodigious young prince, set out once more into the field. This time he was not alone. Albert, Silpha, and Tao accompanied him on a monster hunt, where Lloyd planned to try out the enchanted swords he had forged himself. The group advanced through the dense forest. While the others watched with respect for his unwavering confidence, Lloyd's excitement was childlike. For him, this expedition was not danger, but a live experiment. Yet what awaited them deep in the woods was no ordinary monster. From the shadows emerged a beowulf, a colossal beast with claws sharp enough to shred steel and speed unnatural for its size. Most terrifying of all was its regeneration. Wounds closed in seconds, defying all logic. Albert held the line. Silpha reinforced with magic, and Tao attacked with martial precision, but every strike ended the same. The beowulf rose again, angrier than before. Then Lloyd, calm and smiling, stepped forward. His eyes gleamed with pure magical curiosity. With surgical precision, he altered the enchanted structure of his sword mid-battle, reshaping the mana flow he had imbued. In an instant, the blade shone with a brilliant blue light. With a single strike, he shattered the beast's regenerative cycle, destroying the magical core that sustained it. The beowulf roared one last time before collapsing, its energy dissolving into silence. The others stood speechless. Lloyd had not merely defeated the monster, he had analyzed, understood, and overcome its magic in seconds. For him, the battle was never about survival. It was proof of what happens when knowledge and power merge. Silpha seemed to have defeated the Beowulfs, but just as the group began to relax, Pazuzu appeared, releasing a massive wave of miasma that blanketed the battlefield. The malignant energy disrupted the flow of mana in the air, weakening spells and draining the strength of those who relied on magic. Silpha and Dao tried to resist, but the miasma was overwhelming. Both were cornered, unable to continue fighting. Meanwhile, Albert attempted to help, but the Beowulf's regeneration reactivated under the influence of the corruption, making the battle even more desperate. At that moment, Lloyd stepped forward. He had been observing the miasma's behavior and had already deduced how to neutralize it. Gathering his mana, he released a counterforce that clashed directly with Pazuzu's energy. At that moment, Lloyd stepped forward. He had been observing the miasma's behavior and had already deduced how to neutralize it. Gathering his mana, he released a counterforce that clashed directly with Pazuzu's energy. The miasma began to dissipate rapidly, restoring balance to the environment. Seizing the opportunity, Lloyd invoked a large-scale purification spell, cleansing the corruption from the entire area and stripping Pazuzu of his power. With Pazuzu neutralized and the terrain purified, the Beowulfs fell one after another. When the battle ended, the group confirmed the miasma was gone and the forest had returned to normal. Lloyd, Silpha, Tao, and Albert emerged victorious, marking the conclusion of their confrontation with Pazuzu and his miasma. Determined to expand his magical knowledge, Lloyd turns to his elder sister Alice, the 6th princess of Saloum, asking her to teach him the secret of communicating with monsters. Alice agrees and begins instructing him in advanced techniques that synchronize mana flow with magical creatures, a method requiring deep spiritual control and concentration. During training, Lloyd experiments with different energies and manages to establish partial contact with a monster, learning how they perceive and respond to mana. After completing his practice with Alice, he bids her farewell for now and returns to the castle. There he reunites with Diane, the 4th prince, who is working on the development of a definitive magical weapon, the Supreme Enchanted Sword. Diane explains his goal of fusing magical arts with weapon forging, combining alchemy with advanced sorcery. Intrigued, Lloyd decides to collaborate, contributing his expertise in enchantments and mana manipulation. Together they begin preparations for the sword's creation, studying rare materials, magical cores, and techniques for amplifying energy. Meanwhile, rumors spread across the kingdom of unusually violent monsters, hinting at a disturbance in the balance of magic. Yet, Lloyd remains focused on his experiments, determined to master monster communication and aid his brother in completing the enchanted sword. The episode closes with Lloyd and Diane progressing in their research, marking the beginning of a new chapter in the development of Saloum's magical weaponry. After witnessing the abilities of Ren the Poisoned, an assassin of the guild, Lloyd becomes fascinated by the unique powers she and her companions wield. Driven by curiosity, he secretly follows her after one of her missions. Unaware of being watched, Ren returns to the guild's hidden base beneath the city, a labyrinth protected by magical traps and cloaking barriers. Lloyd, using his mastery of magic, bypasses the detection wards and infiltrates without being noticed, but once inside, his presence is sensed. Believing a hostile intruder has breached their sanctuary, the assassins mobilize instantly to eliminate him. Coordinated strikes rain down from the shadows, poison daggers, magical snares, and lightning-fast assassination techniques test Lloyd's reflexes and defenses. He responds with calm precision, conjuring barriers, containment spells, and counter movements that neutralize each attack without taking lives unnecessarily. During the clash, Ren recognizes the intruder's immense power and is stunned to realize it is none other than the 7th Prince of Saloum. The battle halts briefly when Lloyd makes clear he does not seek to destroy the guild, but to learn from their methods, especially the fusion of chi with magic. Intrigued, the guild's leader chooses to observe him rather than strike. Lloyd continues deeper into the base, analyzing their techniques of poison, camouflage, and vital energy, determined to uncover their magical foundations. The episode closes with the assassins preparing for a more serious confrontation, while Lloyd ventures further into the heart of their lair, resolved to unravel the secrets the guild keeps hidden. Having earned the trust of the Assassins Guild, Lloyd begins to study their techniques in greater depth. His attention is drawn to the mysterious power of their leader, Jade, renowned for his ability to teleport instantly. Fascinated, Lloyd seeks to understand the magical mechanics and possible origin of this ability. One day, the assassins receive a letter from Jade himself, who had been missing for some time. In the message, he summons them to Lordost Mansion, a secluded refuge once used by the guild. Seeing this as the perfect chance to observe Jade's powers firsthand, Lloyd decides to accompany them. Upon arrival, the group is met with silence and heady tension. The assassins are relieved to see their leader again, believing things will return to normal. Yet something feels wrong. Jade's aura is darker, his presence unsettling, and his gaze empty. During the gathering, Jade speaks strangely of absolute power and a new purpose no one can understand. The atmosphere grows hostile as he reveals his body and mind are being influenced by an unknown force. Before anyone can react, Jade unleashes a surge of unstable teleportation energy, engulfing the mansion in a chaotic vortex of magic. The assassins attempt to contain it, but the sheer magnitude overwhelms every technique they know. Lloyd quickly analyzes the situation and realizes Jade's magic is being corrupted from within. With no other choice, he prepares to intervene directly, determined to stop Jade before the mansion collapses. The episode closes with Lloyd advancing toward Jade through the floating debris of the mansion, as the uncontrolled teleportation distorts space itself around them. After the chaos at Lordos Mansion, Ren finally uncovers the truth behind Jade's strange transformation. The leader of the Assassin's Guild is no longer himself. His body has been overtaken by the demon lord Guisarme, who now wields Jade's form and teleportation powers for his own ends. Guisarme declares that the entire Lordos region has become his personal domain. Its inhabitants have been offered as vessels for the demons under his command. And the mansion, now corrupted, has turned into a nexus of demonic energy. With Jade's body fully under control, Guisarme plans to extend his influence by possessing the members of the Assassin's Guild, exploiting their unique skills to strengthen his army. Ren tries to resist, but the difference in power is overwhelming. Every move from the Demon Lord distorts space, teleporting effortlessly and striking from multiple directions at once. Just when defeat seems inevitable, a surge of magic floods the mansion. Lloyd arrives. With staff in hand and his aura expanding across the hall, he blocks one of Guisarme's attacks and places himself between the demon and the assassins. The clash of Guisarme's dark aura and Lloyd's pure magic fills the chamber with colliding light and shadow. Ren, relieved yet stunned by the scale of the enemy, watches as Lloyd analyzes the energy binding Guisarme to Jade's body. He realizes that to save Jade, he must sever the demonic link without destroying the vessel. The episode closes with both opponents standing face to face. Guisarme, wearing Jade's body, smiles confidently as he unleashes an infernal explosion of power. Lloyd responds by raising his own magic to its peak, preparing for the decisive battle that will determine the fate of the guild and the territory of Lordos. The war between the scourges and the demons reaches its peak. Human forces struggle to withstand the relentless assault as chaos spreads across the battlefield. Amid the confusion, the prince and Albert arrive at the front lines, determined to find Lloyd, whose whereabouts remain unknown since his clash with the Demon King. Meanwhile, Sylpha takes the initiative, charging straight into battle. With sword in hand and refined magical control, she faces multiple demons at once, shielding retreating soldiers. The fight grows increasingly brutal, yet she displays extraordinary skill, combining agility and power to counter the enemy's attacks. Albert watches the chaos, trying to maintain formation, while the prince searches desperately for any sign of the seventh heir. As the battle intensifies, the demons unleash a surge of dark power that threatens everyone present. Sylpha, though formidable, begins to be surrounded. Still, her resolve does not falter. She fights with everything she has, clinging to the hope that Lloyd will appear before it's too late. The scene closes with the battlefield engulfed in fire and magic, the fate of Sylpha and the others hanging by a thread, marking the beginning of a new critical turning point in the war against the demons. The clash between Lloyd and Guisarme rages with overwhelming intensity. Both unleash their magic to the fullest, tearing the battlefield apart as reality itself begins to crumble. Guisarme, wielding Jade's body and teleportation powers, strikes from every angle, searching for a fatal opening against the prince. Yet Lloyd remains calm. He studies each movement, observing how Jade's body reacts under demonic possession. In the midst of battle, fragments of Jade's final words echo in his mind, pushing him to uncover their true meaning and the bond that once united them. As waves of magic collide again and again, Lloyd delves deeper into the hidden knowledge behind Jade's power. He begins to grasp the link between human will and magical energy, a balance that might hold the key to defeating even the Demon King himself. With this newfound understanding, Lloyd channels his mana differently, weaving precision and raw strength into a single spell. The impact forces Guisarme to retreat for the first time, shaking the battlefield with the resonance of their clash. The episode closes with Lloyd resolute, determined to free Jade from demonic possession. At last, he understands why his fallen ally entrusted him with hope in his final moments. The final confrontation between Lloyd and Guisarme reaches its climax. The Demon Lord unleashes his full power, attempting to seize control of the prince's body. The battlefield becomes a vortex of magical energy, waves of destruction rippling outward in every direction. Guisarme gathers the essence of chaos into a single lethal strike meant to annihilate Lloyd completely. Yet the young prince, calm and analytical, dissects the spell's structure in the instant it approaches. With flawless precision, he counters it using a barrier of energy calculated to withstand the impact. Though the defense holds, Lloyd suffers damage and falls to his knees. Guisarme seizes the moment, trying to invade his body and claim his magic. But Lloyd's willpower surges. Drawing upon his lessons and the bonds forged with those who trust him, he channels his inner strength. With a spell of immense magnitude, Lloyd shatters the demonic possession from within, purifying the energy that bound Jade's soul. The former leader of the assassins is freed, while Guisarme is finally defeated and disintegrated into nothingness. Silence returns to the battlefield. Lloyd stands, exhausted yet triumphant. The conflict ends, and with it, the looming threat of the demon lord who sought to plunge the kingdom into darkness. The episode closes with Lloyd gazing at the dawn, aware that his journey is far from over. Though victorious, he knows there is still much to discover on his path toward absolute mastery of magic.